it's Samantha from GSMO Tutorials here, and today I'm going to show you how to create a fun little Valentine's Day pendant that can be given as a gift or worn by yourself. To start, you're going to want some black Primo polymer clay. It does not have to be Primo, just black will do. And this was run out on the thickest setting of my pasta machine. Then I am going to dust the surface with cornstarch. I'm actually going to pop this on top of a baby wipe so that it catches the extra cornstarch. And I'm going to apply generously because I'm going to be using a polymer clay stamp today and I don't want it to stick. And I'm going to be double stamping it, so stamping the back and the front at the same time. So I'm going to make sure I have a generous coat of that cornstarch. Okay, going to move that to the side. Okay, now I'm just going to redust the back because that's a little damp from the baby wipe. Then the stamp of choice I'm using are these two rose stamps. Any stamp that has matching images and that has a reverse will work. You don't even have to do that. Choose any stamps that you like. And this is going to be the front, so I'm going to stamp that first. And I always prefer to use my fingers rather than a roller. That is a preference for me. You can of course use a roller and get a stamp. You can impress your image that way. I use my fingers because I usually don't put enough strength behind the roller and I end up getting a duller image. But you'll just press from one side to the other, removing air bubbles as you go because you'll be pushing it out as you go. Okay, and that's just about done. Then grab a piece of paper and just give the back a burnish, and this is to remove fingerprints. If you used a roller you shouldn't need to do this. There we go. And that gives us a much better surface to work with here. And I'm just going to re-dust this so that I don't end up with any stickage. I'm going to take that, I'm going to line that up, and then I'm going to stand and apply as much weight as I can to get that started. Then I will use a roller. I'm not going to roll across the surface, I'm just going to use that to press the stamp down like so. Okay, and this should give us a nice image. Okay, and that should do. And we're doing that while the other one is you're sandwiching the clay between the two, because that way you don't end up with a flattened image. And this one should come out quite easily. You can see there how that looks. Don't worry about the cornstarch, we'll get rid of that in a moment. And then peel back this one. And there we go. Now you've got a double printed piece. And that will have thinned your clay out considerably, so when you use the clay, make sure that you're using something thicker than you are going to want to end up with. Okay, and to get rid of the cornstarch, I'm just going to bring that baby wipe over and just brush over the surface, and that should pick up most of it. Okay, and then I'll also do it on the front. And of course you do not need to use cornstarch as a release. You can use water. I find better results with the cornstarch, but it's not the only release. Armorel is another one that I don't personally use because I find it a little difficult to get a hold of, but you can use that one as well. And just wipe off both sides. Okay, and there we go. Now I am going to very gently get that to stick to the tile by gently pressing on the top, and just go with kind of a flat palm works. Don't use your finger because that will put a lot of pressure on a small point. If you go with just your palm, you won't end up flattening the image all that much. And just see if that's stuck down. It shouldn't move around, and that's so that we can cut out our pieces. And you can use any shape you want, but I thought that these would be quite cute. You could make matching pendants. That's what I am going to do. I'm just going to position those, and they may stick in the cutter, so I am going to press halfway, then lift up. Okay, then I will pop that back in place, press down again, lift up, and you can see that it has stuck in the cutter a little bit there. And that is just something that's going to happen because we've got the image on the other side, so I'm just going to press the whole way down. If that's the case, lift it up. You can see there it will flatten out the image along the edges, but for the most part it will keep it. And then I'm just going to pop that out because it shouldn't be that stuck in the cutter. It should be quite easy to pop that out. There we go. Okay, I'm going to pop that to the side, and I'm going to repeat with the other one. Okay, and there we go. That should do. Usually if I suspect that the cutter is going to stick to the clay, I would use cling wrap. Can't in this case because we have a texture. You can dust cornstarch on the cutter. I don't find that that helps all that much, so yeah, try to get stuck down to your tile if you can. But anyway, now that we've got the two pieces, I've got 3 different mica powders. Choose any colours that you want, and that's what I'm going to use to colour our pieces. And that's why I cut them out before applying the mica powder, because now we won't end up with any waste clay. All of that black that was left, you can just pop straight back into your black. Cornstarch doesn't affect it in any way. You can just reuse it again, so no waste in this project at all, which is always a plus. And I'm going to dust the bottom of the smallest heart in green, and then I'm just going to move up through the colours. Also, once you're done with each colour, use the excess powder to brush along the sides so that you colour those as well, like so. And also don't forget to go along this little strip here if you are using a embossing cutter. Okay, and there's how they should look. Now, once they're varnished, you're going to be able to see that mica powder much better. Right now it's going to look a little darker than it will turn out. And the backs, don't worry about those right now. I'm going to colour those in a bit. For now, I'm going to use alcohol inks, both in gold and silver. You can use paint instead of alcohol inks if you want to. I find that the metallic shine is better with the alcohol inks, so I like to use them instead. But you can swap those out for paint if you don't have the inks. Okay, and I'm going to start with the gold, and always give these a shake before you use them because you want to get those particles moving. Okay, I'm just going to pop that onto the tile just a little bit, and I really do like using the metallic inks for this. I'm going to just use a little makeup applicator, dab a little bit on there, and the bottom half of this I am going to dab with the ink to highlight that texture. Like so. And I might just grab the baby wipe again and just run it over the surface just a little, just to wipe away a little bit of the surface powder because the ink's having a little bit of trouble sticking. Okay, and I'll apply a little more and continue applying. I'm only going to apply the gold to the bottom heart, and then I will apply silver to the top half. Okay, and there we go. Then once that's done, I'm going to take that and I will flip it over, and then I will apply the alcohol ink to the back to highlight that texture. And I just, again, I'm not sure how well the camera can pick it up, but the metallic on this looks a lot more convincing than the metallic that I usually get on paints. And it doesn't rub off as easily once it's baked as mica powder, and so I prefer handling it in comparison to mica powdered pieces. Do still need to seal it, but it's easier again to use and work with before sealing. But yeah, I'm just going to apply silver to the back. Okay, and there we go. Then I'm going to bake it on that piece of paper for a full hour at Primo's recommended temperature, and after it comes out the oven, allow it to cool, and then get your varnish ready, because this is going to get dipped, because all of this needs to get sealed. Okay, and here it is out of the oven and has cooled. So now you need to seal in those mica powders and the alcohol ink, and today I am going to be using a gloss varnish, specifically Varnishing water-based varnish, and I've just got that off to the side, and I'm going to grab a brush and I am going to tap the surface, because there is a lot of texture and you get air bubbles a lot if you brush over the surface. Even when you kind of stipple it over, you're going to have to do that a little bit to work it into the texture. But you just want a nice thin coat. Also, some of that mica powder will come off, so just clean it off every once in a while, your brush that is. And just give it a coat. I also am going to varnish the sides and the back, because the sides have mica powder on them as well. And I am only going to be giving it one coat. You can give more than one if you feel like it needs it. And then leave that for about half an hour at least to dry. These ones I'm going to leave overnight, and then we can assemble. Okay, and just realised as I was finishing this up, I've been a bit of a silly. I actually wanted to drill this so that I could suspend it while the sides and back were varnished as well, so that I didn't have to wait for the front to dry. So preferably do that before you varnish the piece, but that's a little hand drill, and I use that to make holes in the piece, and then I can pop a wire through there, varnish the sides and the back. Okay, and I've allowed them to dry overnight, and I've only given them one coat, so lots of the texture is still very visible. It's just got a light shine to it. So now we're ready to assemble, and it's going to be very simple. Just a little silver jump ring. I'm going to pop that through the hole that we made before varnishing. And just popping that through. Don't know why it's giving me trouble. Let me fuss with that a second. There we go. I just wasn't getting the right angle. And it's because I'm using the smallest jump ring I can to fit this. And then I've got a rubber cord with a little silver bale that looks like a leaf, because I think that matches thematically. And then just close the jump ring up. And that's really all you need to do. Quite simple, quite easy. And I've already done the other one, and that one I did with a white rubber cord. You can see how that looks there. But yeah, that is pretty much it for the tutorial. A nice easy project that is good if you're a beginner and want to use some of those mica powders. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Will you be making this? If you are, will you be changing anything up, or are you going to do the same thing as what I've done? Let me know in the comments. I read each and every single one of them. And if you liked the video, please do consider leaving a like and subscribing, as I do videos like this multiple times a week, so I'm sure you won't want to miss out on that. And again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.